Hello! In this video, I'll recap the full plot of Rebecca Yarros' Empyrean Book 3, Onyx Storm, from start to finish. Immediately after Iron Flame, Violet Sorrengail is trapped in a simultaneous two-front war. Outside Basgiath, the Venin threat escalates. Inside Navarre, power struggles and political sabotage tighten their grip. Negotiations to form a united front, Navarre, Poromiel, and the rebel leadership stall hard, and Violet realizes something brutal. Whether peace happens or war is won often comes down to a few people who have information and the will to act. She decides to bring her own solution to the table. Find a way to pull Xaden Riorson back from the edge of Venin corruption and secure a strategic advantage that can actually stop the Venin. Basgiath breach and a personal target. Just as tensions peak, Venin infiltrators strike Basgiath, attempting to free Jack Barlow, who is being held in the dungeons. Violet and her circle repel the attack, but Violet spots something chilling among the attackers. A Venin with silver hair, like hers. The implication is immediate and unnerving. Violet may not just be collateral, she may be personally targeted. At the Scenarium, Violet argues that the key to defeating the Venin lies in locating Andana's lost lineage, a seventh, vanished dragon species known as the Irids. The proposal is accepted, but command of the mission is handed to Professor Grady, not Violet. She feels control being stripped away, yet she also knows she and her people will pay the consequences if it fails, which only hardens her resolve. Xaden's title, Violet's gamble, and Etos's revenge politically. Xaden is redeclared Duke of Tyrrendor. Publicly, it legitimizes the rebellion and strengthens their position. Privately, it paints a brighter target on Xaden, while Violet's anxiety grows because his Venin risk is rising. With diplomacy still deadlocked, Violet makes a move that could be branded treason. She modifies the Wardstone without authorization, so Poromiel's Griffin flyers can use their powers inside Basgiath's wards. It works. Poromiel finally leans into the alliance. Violet escapes punishment by a narrow margin. But the episode exposes something she can unsee. In a crisis, then rules often exist to serve whoever already holds power. As if to retaliate, the new Commander General Etos, Dane's father, pushes Violet and her squad into active deployment. A nearby settlement, Newhall, is crushed by Venin. Violet forces the chain of command to prioritize civilian rescue, and during the chaos, with Tern temporarily compromised inside a storm, Violet comes face to face with the silver-haired Venin maven, Theophany. Theophany doesn't kill Violet. Instead, she invites her to turn, offers to mentor her, and shows pointed interest in Andana. Letting Violet go feels less like mercy and more like a deliberate, strategic tightening of a noose. Xaden nearly loses control when Violet is in danger, coming frighteningly close to channeling again, proof he's hanging by a thread. Violet's purpose narrows to a single priority: find a cure. The father's trail and the Anka heist. Interrogating Jack yields only a wall. Some version of there is no cure because Venin is a choice. Violet refuses to accept that. She turns to her father's hidden work, and with Dane's help, she secretly obtains her father's final research. A clue within it points them toward Deverelli. At the same time, Crown Prince Holden, Violet's former lover, reappears. A diplomatic arrangement engineered by Viscount Tecarus requires retrieving an artifact, the Emelian Citrine, from Venin-infested Anka. Violet, Xaden, Mira, and a selected team go in, hoping to win allies and open the path to the Irids. They secure the artifact, but poor coordination and inexperience cost 2 lives. Violet interprets the price as a turning point. She cannot keep letting others make decisions that get her people killed. From now on, in external missions, she demands and takes real operational control. A new quest squad forms: Violet, Xaden, Ridok, Dane, Mira, Kat, Marin, Traga, Drake, Kat's cousin, and, because many stops require a royal presence, Holden. Deverelli, powerless ground, a palace trap, and Xaden's slip. In Deverelli, a shocking condition applies. The land is effectively magic dead. Everyone except Violet is severed from dragon bonds and signet use. For Xaden, it briefly feels like relief. mental silence after weeks of strain. But the calm collapses fast. Halden is effectively held hostage by King Cortlin, and a palace ambush is set. Violet, Xaden, and Halden are meant to die. Xaden loses control and channels. Violet uses Andana and sharp bargaining to secure their exit, while also covering up Xaden's condition. Back at Basgiath, the evidence deepens. Xaden's eyes shift, gold flecks turning toward amber, a sign his Venin side is strengthening. Then Arik reveals the truth. He is King Tari's youngest son, meaning he can serve as the legitimizing royal presence instead of Halden next time. Island trials and the Irids verdict. The squad turns to the islands to find the Irids. Dun Island, they face a faith-based test rooted in divine order. A priestess hints Violet may have almost been dedicated to Dun as a child. They leave without the breakthrough they need. Hedotis, Wisdom Isle. Xaden learns his mother, who abandoned him long ago, is married into the triumvirate that rules the island. The discovery rips open his deepest wounds and mistrust. But Violet outmaneuvers the politics and passes their trials, extracting an alliance. In Zelina, the Afetuois game demands a lethal price. Each person must accept a random gift. Traeger draws the worst, an arrow through the heart. The squad withdraws to cremate Traeger and his griffin, and at last, the Irids appear. But the miracle they expect never arrives. The Irids hear Andarna's story and judge humanity harshly. Turning her into a weapon is proof of failure. The verdict shatters Violet's hope and shakes Xaden's will to remain human. Worse, Redok realizes Xaden's secret and insists Violet must tell Rhiannon, Sawyer, and Jacinia, because the secret no longer endangers only Xaden, it endangers Violet too. Political collapse, personal blows, and Violet's second signet returning to Basgiath brings more bad news. In Poromiel, Queen Mariah is dead, Tecarus takes the throne, and Kat rises in the line of succession. Inside their own ranks, first-year Lynx manifests as a shadow wielder, meaning Xaden is no longer the sole shadow user of the generation. Another psychological blow that makes him feel replaceable. At Aratia, the team shifts into intensive rune training. Violet learns Xaden and Brennan have been working on something that might function as a cure, or at least a control mechanism. When Xaden returns, believing he has his channeling impulse managed, he and Violet reconnect until they both experience the same dream. Then the truth hits. Violet's second signet, via Andarna, is an intrinsic of the Dreamwalker type, an informational advantage so dangerous that exposure could mean execution. Theophany's true past, Andarna's departure, and a hostage demand. Before they can process the revelation, Venin attack again. Eric warns that Tyrandor's survival requires defending the Dun Temple. Violet holds the temple against Theophany and realizes something horrifying. Theophany was once Dun's High Priestess. The enemy is not just darkness outside the system, it is ideology, betrayal, and corruption from inside the sacred order itself. At the last moment, an Irid named Leothan arrives and ignites Aretia's wardstone, driving the attack back. Then Leothan demands the unthinkable. Andarna must sever her bond with Violet and go with him to learn the Irid's paths. Andarna makes the choice, breaks the bond and leaves, tearing Violet apart. Violet collapses for days. Mira arrives with another buried truth. Their father once tried to dedicate Violet to Dun as a baby because of her illness, but the temple refused, calling her fate uncertain. Tensions explode, and when Xaden admits his Venin condition to Mira, she storms away, furious at yet another secret kept from her. Then Garrick returns wounded with catastrophic news. The Venin have taken Drythus. Theophany issues an ultimatum. Xaden must come with Violet and Jack, or she will kill Mira. Drythus. Betrayal, blood, and the second dagger. The council forms a plan. Violet will hunt Theophany, while the others defend the city. Violet and Xaden bring Jack as leverage, but Theophany cuts Mira's throat and vanishes. Brennan can't mend fast enough, until Dane and Sloane arrive. Sloane siphons Dane's power into Brennan, enabling the mending that saves Mira from death. Sloane also delivers a package from Arik, a marble dagger, once belonging to the High Priestess, with a directive. When you lose your own dagger, use this one, strike in the dark. Violet realizes Arik's signet involves reading the future. Drythus descends into hell. Theophany is revealed not as a mere lightning wielder, but a true storm wielder. Vanin control Wyvern and shred the city. In the fighting around Rhiannon and Imogen's front, losses mount. Quinn is killed. Theophany flees. Violet and Tern pursue, nearly dying when an aerial net slams them toward the ground. Violet loses her weapon, and in that exact moment, she remembers Eric's instruction and uses the second dagger. As the city is swallowed by shadows, Violet senses Xaden channeling again to save everyone. Through their bond, she tells him she loves him. Then, in a shock reversal, Andana returns, creating an opening. Violet kills Theophany and collapses into unconsciousness. Xaden's edge, the brother, and Violet's missing hours. The narrative briefly shifts to Xaden. To save Violet and Skyle, he pushes himself to the brink, so far that he is nearly fully Venin. The Violet S whispered, "I love you." Stops him from crossing completely, but Xaden is horrified to sense that someone else close to him has also turned Venin. He calls the person my brother, but the identity is not revealed. Xaden and Skyle form a plan, one he intends to execute only with Violet's consent. 12 hours later, Violet wakes in Eretia with a blank space where key moments should be. She remembers nothing after killing Theophany because Imogen erased her memory and claims Violet asked for it. Worse, Xaden is gone. Garrick and several riders have vanished with him, along with 6 dragon eggs. Violet also learns she is married to Xaden, but she cannot remember when it happened or why. So while the external threat line closes with Theophany's death, the true tension snaps tighter than ever. Xaden's Venin reality, the unnamed Venin brother, the missing eggs, and Violet S. self-requested memory purge point to a hidden agreement, one that will make the next move costlier in both love and war.